Hello everyone. So in previous video we saw that how to create patterns 5 4 3 2 1. This is printed 5 times in row manner in 5 by 5 matrix. So in this video I want you to take a chance and try to solve. The question is you have to take input of number from user and you have to print that number in 5 by 5 matrix. If user enters number as 7, then 7 should be printed in 5 by 5 matrix. Like this is the question. The user enters the number and you have to print that number in 5 by 5 matrix. So we already discussed here, we have to first see how many number of rows we have and how many number of columns we have, and depending on that we have to first create the structure of our looping statements. So we know simple that if we have 5 by 5 matrix, then our first for loop belongs to our number of rows. So we know here that our number of rows are 5. So simply we will take our starting point as 1 and we will go up to less than equals to 5 and we will increment the value of I by 1 so that it exactly goes from 1 to 5 and our number of count of our rows is 5. Inside that we have to take our internal loop which represent the number of columns, and for that I am taking value of j from 1 to 5 because here in this question our number of columns are also 5 and number of rows are 5. So this is our inner loop. Now in order to print the value entered by the user, we have to print first in row wise, that is in our first row. So we will take our print statement where we are printing the value of the user entered, and we know that as soon as our first row elements are done we have to go to new line. So this is the statement that we will write to go to new line. Now here will come the value of the number that user has entered and we have to take input from user. So for taking input from user, we know that using scanner class we can take input as n equals to sc dot next int. So whatever the user enters the number, here n variable will store the number which user enters and that we will print here. So whatever the number user enters, that will be printed in 5 by 5 matrix here. So let's see the output in BlueJ. Here I have imported the scanner class. This is the statement to import scanner class in order if we have to use scanner class in our program. So this is the statement where I have created the scanner class object and I have taken the input of number from the user. Here you can see I have taken the number in n variable and this will store the value entered by user in this variable. As I already discussed before, that for number of rows we will go from 1 to 5 because we have 5 rows, and for internal loop that will go from 1 to 5 also because we have 5 columns. Now I am printing the value of n because we have to print the number that user has entered. Now I have taken this space additional because if I don't take space additional then the output will be messed up and it will be very much compact manner. So in order to look good I have just taken an additional space. If you want you can neglect this space, but if you take space it looks good. That is the only reason I have taken space here. So if we compile and see the output, then here it is asking for the number, what number you want to enter. So take example of 7. So if I enter 7, see you can see that 5 by 5 matrix of number 7 is printed. Let's try to take another example. If I enter the number as 2, if user enters 2, then 2 will be printed in our 5 by 5 matrix. If we take number different number, if we take different number, for example 8, then our 5 by 5 matrix of 8 is printed. So what I mean to say is, whatever you want to print in 5 by 5 matrix, that has to be taken in this position. If we want to print any other character, then simply you have to print the character here. For example, if we want to print character of @ then we will simply put here @ and this @ will be printed in 5 by 5 matrix. So for this I have to neglect this one, as we won't be taking input from user. So if we neglect this and see the output of this, then @ will be printed in our 5 by 5 matrix. See, @ is printed in 5 by 5 matrix. So anything that you want to print totally depends on these two statements. This is our row, how many rows we want, and this is our column, that how many columns we want in our pattern. Earlier I had said that we can change the value of this thing also. The main matter is the difference between the start point and the end point, and by what value we are skipping the value. So if I take 11 here and if I take 15 here, so again the difference is of 5 and the value that we are updating is by 1. So again the number of rows here are 5. If I take here 21 and go up to 25, then this also says that the difference is of 5. So when we see the output of this, then there will be no change, and again the same 5 by 5 matrix of @ will be printed. So it is not compulsory that we have to take the values from 1 to 5 only, or 5 to 1 only, or 11 to 15 only. It totally depends on programmer. The only thing that we have to remember is the value that we are taking as starting and ending point, and the updation we are taking should only be repeated by 5 times, or whatever number of times we have to print the row. Now again, if you have any query in this video which I explained, then you can comment in the comment section whichever query you have, or you have any other question that you are not able to solve, then you can send that question on my mail ID. Mail ID will be displayed here, as well as the mail ID is given in the description box. So send your questions on my mail ID. I will try my best to make the video on that question. Also, I will recommend that please do watch my previous video on loops. In that I have explained each and every step, why to use these statements, why to use that statement, everything in detail in that video. So please do watch that video.